I found a piece of dacite, and dacite is like obsidian but not quite as good, and trying to break off, you can see it makes really thin shards here, and I want to break off or nap a piece here so I can get a good edge. So far this is too thick, so I'm going to have to work on it more. But it breaks up kind of like obsidian, so stay tuned. I'll see if I can get a piece here. Well, I lucked out. I found a bigger piece of it, and you can see it's like obsidian but not as black, and I just happened to luckily chip off a piece. This is razor sharp right here, so I'll use this to do my cutting with. Get a close-up maybe here. Nice and sharp. Well, the weather's getting worse, so I gave up the idea of doing a bow drill fire from scratch. Instead, I'm going to use the rock though for a knife and see if I can get some nice shavings with it, which I am, and then use the shavings to help start the fire. Got to get a nice edge that's really sharp, and you can peel off some really nice stuff. There we go. Nice small curls. I do have a knife, of course, but I thought I'd use this dacite to get the shavings. That's nice stuff. I'm going to get my handkerchief, put it on a dry place real soon. This is a piece of pine. Get a nice edge here somewhere. That's the key. Anyway, I'll get a pile of this stuff and show you. Okay, got a little bit closer view of this here. Get the rhythm going and get the right piece here. These are really fine shavings. They'll be really good. Yeah, there's a nice one for the fire steel. Oh yeah, look at those. Nice. I hope the camera's showing this, because these are really beauts. You can't get any better with your knife on something like this. It's got to hold the rock. It's got really a sharp place on it right here. Really makes it nice. Keep all this stuff dry. This log's a little bit damp, but boy, this fine stuff. Let me grab the camera. That fine stuff right there is really nice. Okay, I figured I got enough shavings to get it going, but now I need to get some split wood, and so I'm going to use twigs, but I'm also going to use this stuff here that I've been playing with and get it apart, using my rock again to split it open. I'm using this because it has some fat wood in it, and so I don't want to lose that advantage. So I'll get some little splinters of that, like this stuff, and use it for my secondary part over the fire. Yeah, good stuff. The key is to have a sharp edge on your rock and then a flat edge so that you can hammer. But getting some nice stuff. So I'll get my secondary now and then use the fire steel and do it that way. But this piece is really nice, piece of dacite that I've used to get my curls. It's just really makes nice stuff. Okay, I had to build a quick tarp shelter because it's going to start raining here any minute. You can see my old debris shelter back there. It's kind of falling apart. I used about 3 years ago. But right down here I'm going to make a fire pit, and I got my shavings that I showed you right there, and I'm going to try a flint and steel combo kind of a thing with the ferro rod, see if it works first. Almost. Yeah. Go to the old standby. Well, it's tough today. Everything's pretty dry. Get some pine needles on there. Pine needles are really good. They got a lot of resin in them, and that helps a lot. Now I brought some wood along with me. I always have some in the truck usually, so I'm prepared that way, but I wanted to show you that you can get a fire going with that stuff I scraped up with the Dacite. So looks like I'm going to have a fire. Also, it looks like I might have judged the wind wrong and going into my pit, my tarp shelter, but we'll see. I'll tune you back in. Without a tripod, it's kind of hard, but I got my fire pit, my shelter. It hasn't rained yet, but nice and cozy now. I got all my wood in here, so I made a fire shield around. The wind was kind of blowing this direction, and I got to try out my new axe today. It's a true temper flint edge, and I engraved on it by wood burning. I don't know if you can see here. I'll get a camera. Sorry for all the production problem. But that's Kokopelli, the Indian flute player symbol. And I put that on there for the fun of it. But I've been trying the axe out, and it's really good. It splits good, very sharp. You can make finger size pieces with it, if I can get coordinated enough to hit it. But really nice axe, very nice. Makes good shavings. This is what I needed to start the fire out with, besides that real small stuff. Anyway, loving this axe, and got my own engraving on it too. So I'm going to get some coffee going and a sandwich and enjoy the outdoors here. Okay, this is a little bit about my tarp, how I rigged it up. I got a line clear over there, and then one up here, and almost all of the knots I use are taut line hitches, and you can't really tell there, but the wind came up and I needed to get it tauter, so I ran another line from right there on up to this tree here. And a little hint, if you got logs like this, you can get up higher by carefully standing on them and getting your line up really high. And I got a taut line hitch up there, which is hard to see, but it runs down and pulls on the tarp there. So the tarp is, oops, tripped over a rock. The tarp is really taut for the most part, and it'll flop around, but it's sheltering the fire right over here just enough, and then I set underneath it. And so it's a good way to set up a shelter, temporary one, where you have lines going quite a ways, so you need a little bit more paracord, but you can go from all these trees around here and get a nice high tarp set up, and it keeps the rain off you, and that works really well. Taut line hitches is what I use. Well, after lunch I thought I'd take you for a walk and just kind of show you the surroundings here. It's really a beautiful area. This is where I've had my shelter about 3 years ago that I did for one of the Bushcraft USA either challenges or class, and you see how well it's still standing. I threw some wood underneath there just to keep it dry, and I used bark layered and then pine needles. And actually right in this top part here where you see it kind of bare, I actually took some poles off of there to make my shelter up here that I haven't slept in yet, but I'm going to. And I've been working on this well, 2 days now. I mean, you know, coming up here separately, but it is one of the nicest shelters that I think that I made so far, debris wise. And I put a whole bunch of limbs right here in the entrance, so to keep the animals more out, at least some of them. But what I'm doing is fixing it up so that I have bark layered like shingles on the half of it, and then pine needles over it. And I will add more pine needles as I go. Let me get around the tree here. And then there's going to be 2 tarps on the top, and I'm going to protect the tarps. You see the shingle type thing, but I'm going to protect the tarps from those pokey limbs by putting a rug over the top and then putting my 2 tarps down. And it is really going to be cozy in there, and I have a neighbor that's going to sleep in there with me. It's really a 2 person tent, and I think it'll work well, and I think it'll actually work better than a I did say tent. I think it'll work better than a tent because it's going to be so insulated. And I'll have some ground material down there, my tarp and sleeping bag and everything, but It's going to be a nice nice setup, I think. And I made a door already at home, and it's going to be a folding door with a cloth opening that's waterproof, and so I'll have that right here in the front, so I can have it pretty much completely closed in. But it really looks like it'll shed the rain really well after I get the tarp on, of course. But it's kind of a combination of primitive and modern. But I'm excited to sleep in this, and if I can get you really in here more, you can see that there's enough room for 2 people in there, and I think it'll be just about right for 2 people. I mean, 3 could sleep in there really, but you don't have to get that cozy. Anyway, having fun walking around out here. The creek's over this way, and I got my tarp set up there, and I made a fire with a Dacite shavings that I used Dacite with. And now I'm just enjoying the weather. Hasn't rained. It looked really formidable for a while, but it's looking really good right now. The sun's starting to come back out, so I might take a hike now. Here's a better picture of the Dacite that I found. Big piece, I used this flat part to hammer in to split the wood, and this one here I used to scrape with, and then this one here is one I used the most, and you can see how fine of edge it is, and I used it for scrapings. I held it this way and used the wood across it, and I also did it this way and this way for the wood. But Dacite's a pretty good thing that is around here, and sometimes obsidian is not. So it can be napped up like obsidian. So I really like this stuff, and I found it down the creek there. Anyway, that's how I got the shavings made, and the small twigs and stuff like that. And I actually got the fire started with those shavings. So this is good stuff to know about Dacite.